Well, this is a very different kind of climax than I was expecting. Hi guys, it's Janae and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm reacting to episode 10 of I Hear the Sunspots. I'm intrigued to see where this episode goes. We only have 2 episodes left after this, which feels weirdly insane, but I've really been enjoying the show. I hope you guys are too. Before we do get into it, however, I just want to say a quick another thank you to all my amazing patrons and channel members. If you're interested in joining either of those for uncut and exclusive reactions, the links will all be in the description below, along with my social media and my PO box. And if you want to subscribe, that's always greatly appreciated. But now, without further ado, let's get into today's video.
もう少し。佐賀くん。はい。ファイトー。ファイトー。お前、千葉くん。
Oh my goodness, clearly this man does not like him one.
千葉くん。スマイル。
I mean, I feel like maybe this is me giving the CEO too much credit here, but maybe his entire thing is something to the effect of, yes, we could technically get someone who is more qualified, but could we get someone who's as passionate and like likely to hopefully improve because he's actually passionate about what he's doing? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm hoping for too much and just being too nice to Taiji. It doesn't help if you smile, if you still carry the same aggression that you would have without the smile. It actually just makes it more scary.
その顔どうしたんですか？わかんないわ。いいんだよな。すいません。案外いいコンビだったりして。
Sir, I don't know what your definition of a good team is, but I don't think that's it.
条文はそれぞれ252条、253条、254条に。
Oh, this is frustrating.
That's it.
Okay, well, at least it's not just in his class that this is happening, but at the same time, in your effort to kind of like do something that maybe would in the long run benefit Kohei and people with similar needs to Kohei's, you're now actively, not even just complicating, but what would be the right word for it? Inhibiting his ability to learn? That's still not the right thing that I'm thinking of, but that's the closest that I can come to right now.
ちょっとバイトで忙しかったから。そっか。カフェと宅配の掛け持ちだもんね。
And something else. How many jobs do you have then? 3?
あとさ。
That's a lot.
じゃあ俺今日バイトあっから。あ、そっか。これ今日のノート。
You hope there's anything in those notes. I'm kind of scared to see what those notes look like. Can't read, but it doesn't look very good.
今日のってこう手で合図したり軽く肩を叩いて気づかせるというのも一つの方法です。
That was actually really great. And I'm so glad it wasn't him, because I felt immediately defensive. Like, this man is working 3 jobs and he's going to university, and I was so scared he'd be very harsh with him or like use this moment to like, because the way his wording was going, I thought he was gonna do something like, oh, you know, if sometimes people with hearing disadvantages fall asleep, you can shout close in their ear and that'll, you know, so like really aggravating his senses to get his attention. I thought it was going to go in that direction, and actually went in a genuinely helpful direction, while also like demonstrating what he was meaning, gently reprimanding, and at the same time kind of waking the guy up. And I think it's the same for Taiji, that just gave me so much respect for him that I wasn't expecting the experience to give. And I think it was also genuinely like helpful advice. So, well done. That was a really good character moment.
同じグループの人間に聞いたのか？
いや、
まずはグループ内で解決しろ。社外に出たら先生はいないんだぞ。
That's fair. Even though I was excited because I thought maybe if he had the opportunity to teach someone, it would help him revise at the same time.
おかえり。ちょうどよかった。美味しいプリンあるよ。
Oh my goodness.
はい。
He's already figured out what makes Taichi tick, but poor Taichi does not look like this is gonna work, and I'm kind of immediately worried for him. But when something gets between this man and his food, I just get concerned.
いや、好きです。すげえ好き。なんなら、プリンの沼に飛び込みてえから。どうぞどうぞ、ダイブして。
He really gives the feeling of being like an older Taichi, which is just so funny.
社労士の資格とか、映画監督になるためとか、大学でやりたいことも特にないのに。
Wow, okay. I don't know why that hit me as hard as it did, but I am like, for a lot of my life up until this point, I always felt like, oh, I'm jack of all trades, master of none. And I always kind of viewed that as a bad thing. And it's taken me a very long time to start to try and accept the fact that it's okay to not be particularly good at any one thing. Because it's not like I'm mediocre at all the things that I enjoy. I'm just not outstanding, you know? I'm just okay. And that should be okay. That should be allowed. But I just really resonate with this feeling of not necessarily having this one very clear-cut talent or goal. This is such an interesting feeling because it really does feel like the romance in the show has become secondary to the life struggles, and I don't know how to feel about that because on the one hand I actually respect it, on the other hand I wish we could get back to that because I feel like the distance between them is growing so big, between my life and jobs and things like that, that I don't know if they can bridge that distance again in just 2 episodes time.
じゃあ、なんで辞めるとか。それは、なんつうか。
That's a very interesting moment that they had there. That it kind of took me a moment to really internalize the fact that Kohei had a regular moment of like surprise, and that kind of what, you know, and it was misinterpreted as, oh, he didn't hear me, never mind, I'm not gonna bother repeating it. And I don't know why that hurt me so much. Like, that's very frustrating because he's promised he would not do that, and he, in that moment, almost used Kohei's disability as an out. And I don't mean to frame it as negatively as that sounds. I just think it's something that is unfortunately in some moments very easy to fall into as a defense mechanism to protect yourself.
そっちに意識がいってたら、変なこと言っちまった。終わり。
No, keep going. If you're okay with it, obviously, but...
公平のノートテイクだってあるしさ。俺がいなきゃ困るだろ。だって他のやつじゃ嫌だってやりたいことがあるんでしょ。
Okay, it's not the like horror that I was fearing, because the moment he took his hand off of his shoulder, I was like, oh no, this is gonna be the like misunderstanding city rejection because I feel rejection situation, and rejection because I feel rejected situation. And I don't doubt that we're still gonna get that, but at least he's trying to be communicative about it. He's like, yeah, it's not that I didn't mean it, but I don't want to hold you back. You want to do something else. And to be fair, I actually feel like him dropping out of college, besides the fact that I do think it's something that he genuinely wants, and it's not his current course is not necessarily gonna benefit him with what he seems to want to pursue. But like on the contrary, him going into note-taking could actually benefit what he's wanting to pursue. So why not continue working your three part-time jobs, or your now full-time job at the Sign Institute, and just coming in to help take notes for Kohair. And you can even talk to your boss and tell him, hey, this is what the situation is. I have someone who's the very reason that I started showing interest in this field in the first place, who I want to continue supporting by being his note taker. Can we work around that? And then you could potentially have both. So I think in these moments, this is where their lack of life experience really shows, and I think it's very true to where they're at in life and the characters themselves. But that fear of not just asking, where asking could very easily potentially solve a lot of your problems, is something I see way too often and experienced way too often myself when I was growing up, and even at this stage in life. So, yeah.
俺が引き受けたんだし、俺がやるよ。だからいいって。でも、俺はもう大丈夫だから。俺はもう大地がいなくても平気だよ。なんだよそれ。おう、そうかよ。分かったよ。
Oh no.
好きにすりゃいいんだろ。悪かったな。余計なお世話で。
Oh my goodness, no. Kohair was being so good at his communication, and if the problem is just like the small gaps in his explanation that could have so easily been fixed had he been talking to another person, are just gonna be widened because of their own individual like struggles and trauma and disbelief in themselves.
はぁ？飛ぶ鳥怒ったりしねえのかよ。怒られるようなふざけた理由でやめるのか。
Fair question. That's all that matters.
通ってんだ。てめえがそのダチともあと2、3年もすりゃ卒業して一旦はおさらばするんだぜ。
I mean, you don't need to. Most people retain friends from university.
ガキのまんまでよ。誰がだよ、クソじじい。
I'm so glad he has his grandfather who's so supportive of him.
息子そっくりだな。寂しいと、てめえの足元すら見失ってまうんだよ。そうやって間違えた道を進んじまう。
Wow, why is that so damn profound?
足元を照らしてくれる明るい道を行けよ。な。
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel like the loneliness he's imagining will come from this is because new path is so like uncharted, whereas he can predict what will happen if he stays on his current path, more or less.
マヤ、授業の方はどう？ノートテイカーさんとうまくやってる？
はい。
Okay, that's good.
俺もうまく
Like
できる
her
かな。
outfit.
太一以外の人とも。
あの人のことが好きなんですか？
片思いだけどね。マヤは鋭いな。
I mean, you're not exactly trying to hide it.
先輩のこと助けるどころか迷惑ばっかかけてて。あんな人先輩にとって必要な人なんですか？
I don't necessarily agree with her because what someone brings into your life isn't always that tangible. But even if, playing devil's advocate here, even if she were right, that is unfortunately the kind of thing that for the most part you need to realize and decide on your own, because you can be told till you're blue in the face that something doesn't seem right, but a lot of the times if you're not ready to question it yourself, those words will just actually push you further into that person's presence and not help you out.
楽しいことがたくさんあって、最近まで忘れてたんだ。気がついたら俺も一緒に笑ってた。
There was a nice gesture on the
太一
actress's
と会えてよ
side.
かった。それだけでよかったって。
Well, this is a very different kind of climax than I was expecting.
退学の手続きお願いします。
I'm proud of you. It's not an easy decision to make. Okay, so that is the end of the episode, and it was yet another beautiful episode. I do still hold some of that fear, though it's mostly been assuaged, that the last two episodes isn't going to be enough time to flesh out the ending as much as I would have hoped it would be, in terms of where they might stand with each other by the end of this series. And I don't know why, I kind of had hoped we would see a longer slice of their life, if that makes sense, like how they both left university and entered the workforce afterwards. Like, I don't know, I don't know why I kind of wanted that, but I just, because of what we saw of Taichi's arc early on in the show, I had hoped we would get to see how the two of them grow together yet separately. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe we will still get to see that, but I'd be very impressed if they somehow manage to pull that off in just 2 episodes time. And yeah, I'm curious. I'm quite liking what we saw of Maya in this episode. It could all go back to being a disaster in the next episode, but I quite liked the way that she queried Kohei in this, because it didn't feel as rude and attackish when you compare it to how she was in the previous episodes. It more felt like a genuine inquiry, a genuine need to understand, which I thought was a great, like, small step for her. And yeah, I do wonder if she might actually be someone who acts as a bridge between Kohei and Taichi during this moment of distance for them. But yeah, great episode. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Let me know what you thought, and otherwise I'll see you in the next one. Bye!